just taking a look at what kind of orders I would place. Looking back at the chart, and some of these currency pairs, this is the British pound against the Singaporean dollar, I think. And this thing moves pretty big, and it looks like it's climaxing pretty hard here. If you go to the monthly, this is probably the most screaming north pair out of all the pounds out there. So if you go to the monthly of every British pound, this one has not, and we just made a wick up there, a big wick on that pound. So this is just an amazing run on the pound. And the guppy's still going up. And we had the kickback entries here for the people that were on the monthly charts, which not a lot of trades here, but all the rules stay the same pretty much for my top-bottom theory. And I think this is this is trading 101, but it works all the time. Top becomes a bottom. You know, always this top becomes a bottom. Here it's crazy. Double top becomes a bottom here before this big run. There's the top becomes a bottom here. It doesn't even come back. Here's the ascending triangle. There's probably a top bottom kickback in here. Can't see it. I put too many pips in there, too many grids. So that's a 100 pip grid, and that is a 10 pip grid right around current price. But here there's a kickback. See this? So if you had pending buy limits sitting here. But I think the pound's getting a little overbaked. Certainly this is going to be the one to, this has a really huge spread though, so it's a little distorted. This is like a very vicious kind of move there. And for whatever reason, it's going up. This is going to be the big contest. We're coming up into this congestion zone again. So a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, sell that a little bit, but maybe sell it, but come back here and buy it. Maybe this is going to just clean house to the north. You know, ever since they unpegged that thing, and then of course this was the vicious pegging. But the funny thing is that if you didn't have a bar chart, you would just say, oh, look at it, I just bought here, everything's great. And of course you had to dump here because of the last known support. So you're always getting in on the reversals there. Like if you had bought here, you had to get out here because this is where this was supposed to hold, and this was just going to keep going up. But we took a detour, and now we're back to that judgment zone, and this is just ridiculous, the guppy. So maybe the you know, the Asians are going to finally come back, and you know, their economy might come back, because in relationship to other people's economy, I mean, most of the world is just on welfare in a recession. So but I really never have an idea what that means to any kind of trading. So I never put fundamentals into trading, because you know, the idea that you know, the interest rates here haven't changed, so why does the dollar go up? Well, people are anticipating a move. Whatever. I mean, if you're on the 40-minute chart, and you're on the 1 hour chart, and you got to stop 20 pips deep, and you're in whatever position you're in, that's really all that ever matters. I mean, if you're trading and like predicting where the market's going to go, it's just a complete you know, it's just ridiculous in a way. But of course, you know, if you think it's going there, then, and you're on that train, you're going to stay in that trade. But if your belief system is so bent on, well, it can't go any higher, it can't go any lower, and you're not waiting for it to go lower, because all these trades are good. I mean, every trade's a good trade had you been in long enough. But you know, you don't. So if you're in a small position, you have to give it maybe a 200 pip swing. and your next smallest position is 100 pip, but you're risking the same dollar amount per button push. And that's a big thing to consider, is what does it really cost you? So if $5 is your threshold, you have a 50 pip stop, you're in a micro, so that allows you to trade, say, 10 trades, and you're gonna risk $50. And I don't think you can be wrong on every pair. So if you're going to trade the pound and you went to the 4-hour chart and you know the ATR here because you can see 100 pips here. And so what was the trades that you missed last week that were kind of stupid, easy structured trades on the British pound? I would say go to the 4-hour chart, put a 10 pip grid, and put up the so you have to be realistic for what the time horizon is. And how many trades per week would you get on this system? You probably have 2 or 3 good trades a week, probably, if you look back here. From just buying support and selling resistance, just in the most simple terms. And the other would be, sell resistance by support, or just look for buy onlys, because one of these has got a good setup. And that may keep you from over trading, because I'm a buy only person because I just can't get my brain around the other side of the trade. Of course, here's a real painfully obvious double top at the round handle of the 100 pips. And here's a pullback below the 100. So for me, the entry would have been here. So if I look back here, I can see all my buys. They should jump out. I shouldn't have to spend too much time looking, trying to hunt it down, but my buy limits would have been here. They would have never got filled. I could have had a more aggressive buy limit at this double bottom, so would have got filled there and had to take about 50 pips of heat. But I guess my break even, if I had a break even order, or I had a buy limit sitting at the everything from this double bottom down to this. But I imagine I laid in on the 10 pip handles, I've got a 10 pip grid. Now that's what I suggest. And maybe there's 100K spread out in here. You just have to put a big bank in there. Here, buy limits, buy limits, buy limits, and you're always trading that ricochet. Here's a buy limit entry. Boom. Another ripe place to get in. Now this heat here, you can take the edge off that trade by just getting in lightly, but you're buying a 50 pip range every 10 pips. And maybe this order lasts all day. Of course, this order has to last all week, right? Because this is Sunday night right here. And so the kickback here in the Singaporean, if you had to buy limits that started here and they went for 100 pips. So you're literally buying every 10 pips. I know it sounds ridiculous and maybe you got a hard stop here, but you're only risking a 10K. Whereas some people are trading, if you can believe it, they're trading a standard lot on one order. So what's the point, right? Here, if this is a 10K, and then I've got another one that comes in on the 20 handles, overlapping, 5K. Same span. Or I've got an order, a script that says I'll buy every 20 pips for the next 8 hours. So you only get filled on these guys. These should be the swing trades. But you can also have an overlapping order bank that buys, or you have a hand-placed order here. So this would have been your entry on the guppy. We know this top exists. We put buy limits here. We take about 30 pips of heat to make the break even, or maybe a little bit better. Boom. This is the 100 pips stupid. Place your limits up here, sell limits. Here, sell limits, but they crushed you a little bit. Finally rips back, and you've got buy limits here. They took you out. Here you made it all back, and then some. buy limits here. They not too much. You also have buy limits. Just beyond this, because maybe they're going to come down here and do this. So it's like maybe here's the buy limits, and that's the and here you didn't get filled. Now the sells at the 100 and at the 100 again. Of course, I think you have to run pretty big. So the most calm looking currency here, if you just stretch these out to fill the screen, look for the least volatile pair. Looks like pound Swiss, and pound Swiss is the one that's right. It's flirting with this borderline here. But we would definitely want to get in on all of these things on pendings. This top becomes the bottom, and then again you can get in. You've always got the buy limits sitting down here, always, and maybe it's not going to drop right now, but I mean in terms of if this was a 15-minute chart or something. But when you go to the 4-hour, there's maybe like this trade, top becomes the bottom, and you can tighten up that window and just go currency to currency, and it's just a lot easier to it's just easier to see. I'm only looking back 1 week here, so you can just see where you would want to put your buy limits down there and have your just set your whole trade plan out in front of you. Don't have to get so now you can go to the daily for a little less trading. The guy that I was watching today, he was on the daily, and I thought, yeah, that's not a lot of trading, but I think he said 40 trades a year. It's like, whoa. Now here you can see where they come right to the edge on the daily and rip it all the way back, come right to the edge. Just looking at the wick entry here. But it's all about how you frame it, I think. I do like this vertical thing for the grid trading, because it shows you what kind of sell grid you'd be launching Sunday night here. Yeah, the pound's still storming north here in the dailies, and it's going to be something, the bail in, I guess. Where, of course, the Brits, they're not dumb enough to come out with different numbers. They've been coming out with the same numbers forever now. So this is like the new gold market. And, the Brits, I mean, these people aren't trying to reinvent the wheel. They're still got a king and a queen, and, come on. I don't know if that's making the currency go up, but gosh, I guess in the world of chaos, compared to the euro, they're loving it. And I guess that euro dollar, of course, the euro dollar had to come down to a number that was, it's almost like there's always the a kind of an equilibrium reached on every market. Like some things never change price. If you go back on some of the audio equipment and you look at the prices of certain things, and they're fixed. They're literally, you can go to the store right now for the same amount of dollars and you could buy the same stuff, because people associate that tool with a certain price. And it's funny how some things are just still the same price. It's never changed. And other stuff like computers are so cheap, it's just mind-boggling. So I can't figure out why people are buying something, but just trying to design tighter, just trying to design trading systems that capture the drama without any regard to whether or not it makes sense. That's really what I'm aiming at. And So I'm running this new demo here, and then I've got this other one. I'm going to try to just keep it down to a few scripts. And 2 hours and 4 hour windows on the, and of course you can have the orders that last all week and never get filled. Now that's an incredible amount of patience, and I guess that's the big skill set here is patience. Like if you had a pending buy limit on this internal top, and you got filled and you made money, and you got refilled and you made money, you're like, wow, this is easy. But you know, waiting for this thing to come down, you know, waiting for this thing to come back to this zone here. My God. Well, here I only had to wait 2 days. And here, wow, you couldn't even hardly get on this train. But I think the pound might be baked. Too many bulls here. I don't know. I guess they could just keep going on forever. That's how it is, especially, and that's when indicators are pretty much, that's when people blow up their account selling overbought, I think, on their indicators, whatever. But yeah, certainly you could take a breath. Here was your last known top became a bottom, so this to me would be kind of, this looks like one more swing maybe. I'm already thinking this is the first one to cave. Get these double tags up here. Somebody got a great entry there. I mean, the sell limit up there. Wow. Just imagine you had a sell limit pending at this top. And you're like, up here. So for the next 10 pips, every 10 pips you have sell limits all the way up there. And then here you're already up 100 pips on that last order, but you have just the most elaborate order bank. There's scalps in here, there's 200 pip winners, 50 pip winners, very complicated, but you just lay a trap up there, capture that window, it's over. And maybe you just do that on one, you just hunting down the, of course these are not, you know, this is like not every setup's going to trigger, so if you trigger on some of these and the other ones don't trigger, it's all right, because you know you don't want to fill every order, you don't, because if you haven't done the math, you'd blow up the account, because not everything's going to fill. And then of course if you zoom out one layer here, you'll have a whole different thought process about it. But yeah, Australia's in the choppy phase, and the CAD is still screaming, but I would definitely love to sell that about as it crushes up in. And the guppy, wow, just choppy. These look like this looks like maybe over. We're gonna just go sideways here. It's just gonna be kind of boring until you know, something's got to give here, and gold's going up, and British pound's had a nice run, but I must say the bears are going to come in and crush these people. There's no way around it. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's off the chart. This is literally off the chart, so I can't even see above.